Okie dokie. Okie dokie. All right. Just
Are we,
putting up there.
are
Yeah,
we ready?
yeah, no, everything looks perfect. Okay, yes, we're doing great. Okay, so we're back.
We're back.
All right, so let's hope we don't get this time. So anyway, finish up on rib. Todd, so far looks like you were wrong about Mr. Andy Dalton. He doesn't look good this week. He did a little bit better, but nothing. Week one was not too good for old Andy Dalton. Top five for sure. I'm not exactly sure we're going to make it there. And also, Jason, I guess, right about Tariq Cohen when I got Dalton. So just in case I didn't tell you that four times that day, every time he kept scoring, that's on
Now
me.
it's recorded.
Exactly. Monday Night Football was really funny. I don't know if you saw any of it because there were two games, right? There was the early and the late game. The late game.
I saw the early game.
Oh, okay. Well, you missed the funny one. The early game was a good game. The
Yeah.
late one was a flippin' dumpster fire. It featured the first female broadcaster. Now, I got nothing against female broadcasters, but this one sounded like a man to start with, which made it funny. Secondly, she took no pauses in her talking. She just kept like she had to fill every available piece of space.
Yeah.
Add to it, who's her co-host on this one? Did they pick somebody solid or somebody's got a pedigree? No, who did they put in there? Mr.
Nobody.
I Love Women's Feet, Rex Ryan.
Oh,
who is
okay.
the worst. He may be a great coach, but he's a crappy broadcaster. He kept getting people's names wrong. He said at least four times in one thing that I was watching. And then the best thing is like Twitter, and they're just killing him on Twitter, right? The two funniest tweets I saw was one of them was like Rex's thought while she's talking, don't look at her feet, don't look at her feet, don't look at her feet. And the other one was, why would you ever put that man in a booth with a woman? I hope to God she has closed-toed shoes. So that made me laugh. All right, so that's Monday Night Football. Let's get to what people really care about, Mr. Heath.
Let's get to the scores. Week one scores?
Tell me which one you want to go with first.
Okay, I will read them off. You'll be able to catch up. I know.
Yes, go.
The deplorables. Against yours truly, I squeaked one out by the hairs on my chinny chin. I ended up winning by a little less than 3 points, 95 to 92. Woo,
Yes.
it was a close one.
Now, when did you pull out the victory? Was it on Sunday or Monday? I didn't know if you guys had any guys on Monday.
It was Monday, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. It was Kyle
Yeah.
Rudolph, right? Yeah,
That's
when
right.
you got all
Yeah.
cocky. But it really wasn't until Emmanuel Sanders helped you out with his whole 5.6 that he got you in the second game. But yes, it was a close game. I thought she had you. But Aaron Rodgers coming through with Aaron Rodgers numbers with 20. Nelson, how much do you love Jordy Nelson?
He's okay. It wasn't like huge.
Shut
But
up.
yeah, I
He
like
got you
him. He's
20,
fine.
dude. You got to
Yeah,
be happy
20.
with that. The rest of them were forgettable. On her side, Golden Tate from where?
Notre Dame.
23 points for her.
Yeah,
Big
he had a
Ben
great
with-
game.
Yeah, Big Ben with 19, and the rest of hers were kind of forgettable. Neither of your benches did much, except you had Amendola, who had 18 in a losing effort against Kansas City.
He's in my starting lineup this week.
You know he has a concussion. He might be out this week, right?
I'll have to check that. No,
Better
I didn't know he had a
ch-
concussion, but
Better check that. He had a concussion in that game. This is what happens when we actually watch a football game. You see what happens in it. You could have seen him get concussed and come out of the game.
hey, I'm trying my best. I'm a cable cutter.
That was on Thursday night. Get on the stick. All right.
Yeah, I don't have the NFL Network.
You have the intranet, right?
I don't know how to get it on the internet.
Start figuring that out. Next game.
Lovely. It's make fantasy football awful again. Which genius? Football is one word, in case you didn't know. However, in your team name, there's a space there.
You know, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. Make fantasy football. Squeaks one out. Gets lucky against Malibu.
Squeaks one out. I wish I could squeak them all out by that many points.
165 to 107. Poor Don. David Johnson down.
I know. So, first of all, the reason why the name is split is because in ESPN, you can't put that much on either line, so I had to split it somewhere. I thought that was the natural place to split it, jerk face. Now, let's talk about the actual scores.
You could have actually split it between actual words.
You know what? I want to punch you. I couldn't. There wasn't enough space. Listen. Now, let's get to the people. Drew Brees, only 17 points. He was harassed all freaking night. Those
I know, I
Vikings
saw
were
that.
on him. He still got 17, but that's not the Drew Brees that you're looking for when you draft him. Cam Newton did 17, which I'd like more Cam, but I was just happy looking the way he did on that game.
Yeah.
Whereas Ezekiel Elliott, free at last. Great goodness almighty, I hope Ezekiel's free. 21 points. That's my man.
21. Now you're going to have to wait 6 more to get that again.
Shut it. Antonio Brown, 31. Boom. AB getting it done as usual. And who? Adam Thielen is who you said who to? 26 points. Take that, Mr. Heath. On the other side of the ball, Le'Veon Bell did not show up. Maybe that's because he wasn't in camp and he's not quite ramped up with only 7 points. Johnson got 13 before he got hurt with that wrist injury that's going to put him out all year. And then she had Mike Gillislee, that stinking touchdown vulture from New England. That was something that gave her hope. Oh, and my Philly defense got 21 to her Minnesota 1.2.
Yes.
Yeah, 26, excuse me. Yeah, so that was awesome. On Dawn's bench, though, Dawn's bench was the top of her list.
Goodness.
Everybody was like, who has Cup? Dang it, that's Dawn. Who has Galladay? Dawn again? Are you kidding me? Who's got Hooper? Are you serious? It's Dawn. She
got plenty to move in. It's just disappointing. She's got to hold on to him for the whole season. He may be back in December around.
That's what they're saying. Yeah. So hang on to him, and we'll see what he does. But let's go to the next game.
The next one was another close one, actually, just like my game. Voldemort squeaks one out against his brother, Chalupa Batman. That was another 3-point victory, 131 to 128.
And up until midway through that Monday night, I think Chalupa had it, and he was feeling pretty darn good until Voldemort came back with Keenan Allen from San Diego. Well, I was going to say not San Diego anymore. Now it's the LA Superchargers.
The Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm still going to call them the San Diego Superchargers with 14 from Allen, so that was huge from him. The rest of his squad, Delvin Cook from Minnesota had a great night for 18, and Mariota had 18. Murray with a paltry 8. I was glad I didn't get him eventually. Whereas Chalupa Batman, Matty Ice comes in with 23, LaShawn McCoy with 22, Montgomery with 19. He's got some good scores there, but just not enough to overcome all of Voldemort's talents. And, of course, Tyreek Hill, who I think got hurt at the end of that game, too.
That was nuts, though.
Yeah, but he kind of came up lame at the end of that game, so I don't know if he's going to be playing this week, but he got 31, so that was a good matchup. Who's next?
That's crazy. Next, we have yet another close one. The Braille Bombers fall just short with against the Gentlemen's Four Quarterlies, 107 to 102. 5-point victory.
This was a flippin' heartbreaker for poor Mama. She had to watch her dreams go up in smoke on Monday night.
Yeah.
It was so sad because Terry has the Denver defense, so they immediately start off and they go after, but then as they keep getting closer, and that game was a blowout almost the whole time. Denver was killing him. Everything's going great. All of a sudden, boom, San Diego scores one. Okay, well, that's nice. They scored one. Then it's, fumble. They get another score. Oh, wait, this is a game. Then they score another one. Now they're only down 3 points. Like, oh, my God, they've come back and tied this and go into overtime. The whole time, Denver's points are going down, 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 and my mom's just like, I'm not going to win. I'm like, no, if you get some more points, you've got to root for San Diego to get this. That didn't work. But, congrats to Terry. She pulled out a nice win there in the end with some very even scores. Not a whole lot of huge scores, but Theoretic from where?
Notre Dame.
14.6. Colby Fleener for 16.4. The rest of hers were all very mundane, whereas on the other side, my mom had Leonard Fournette for 23, which was awesome, but then the rest of them were kind of slow. Randall Cobb had 17, but again, very disappointing game for the rest of them. So who's next? That was a good game. Real tight.
Next was a blowout. And a blowout by a team who chose not to start a full lineup, even though she had a defense on the bench who scored like 20-something.
I know.
So she finishes up 178. She could have been at or above 200, chose not to. Not that she needed it. She still just about doubled poor Kev's, an average outing if you look at the rest of the scores this week. Unfortunately, Wild Poopers roll up 178, a monster, against Kev's 97.5, give or take.
Yep, Todd Gurley had put in a nice day, but the big star of her show, Kareem Hunt, who I think everybody wanted. 49 points. The big 40 burger dropped on poor Clemens. And to start that way with that much on one player, it's really hard to recover.
Almost 50.
Right, because even if the other players just contribute barely anything, it still just jumps your score up by so much. Clemens had a good day from Howard from Chicago, even though he kept yelling at the guy that I grabbed, Cohen, who kept getting the touchdowns. And he had a good one from Coleman out of Cleveland, but he's got to get on the stick, and the rest of his team has to get better. The funny thing was, poor New England's defense at -6, he started Sunday off at the house -3, and he's like, what the heck, man? He was just hoping to get back to steady state before we even could actually play. So he started in a hole and never found his way out of that hole. Who's next?
Next is a family affair, if you will.
Yes.
Pretty close. I mean, it wasn't a blowout or anything, but Todd was able to beat his papa, 131 to 116. The punishment due over. Give me that booty.
We call that elder abuse in some states. Sam Bradford, who I believe Todd just picked up as a, hey, I'll fill this guy in because the other guy didn't play Winston because of the storm in Florida. Bradford tips him with 33. I mean, Bradford looked like Breeze that night. It was like a role reversal for sure. The rest of his squad was pretty forgettable, aside from Amari Cooper, who got 17. Whereas in Jason, Derek Carr did 22. Everybody else just kind of fell on their faces except for DeAndre Hopkins, who did well. The rest of them, I mean, there were like some 3 and 4 scores, so he needs to really pull it out. Woodhead gets hurt. I mean, he definitely got the bad end of
David Johnson,
the deal.
Danny Woodhead, and someone else is hurt.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but
it was bad. But anyway, so that's our scores.
That was it.
We're going to standings next.
Well, do you want to talk about? Well, we could do
standings. Is what we normally do.
Okay. Standings. Here we go. Division 1. Why does this say Division 1?
It's not like Jason asked me to name them. I haven't named them yet. I forgot to name them. That's on me.
We've done this. We are going to pick the 4. We already know what they are.
Okay, I'll go back and change it. Go ahead. Just call it Division 1 this week, Jerry.
Division 1, who might be North Haverbrook for all I know. We've got a 2-way tie for first. We're going to have a lot of ties this week because there's only one game behind us. But we got a 2-way tie. Ball great again. I love how it puts it up there. These balls are great again for Uncle Matty. Second place tied. Well, not second place. Tied for first, Voldemort.
Yep.
And poor Malibu bringing up the rear, but that ain't going to happen much. Division 2, which is probably Ogdenville. We've got Camp Rusty out front, all alone. What did we know? Against the Chalupa Batman and the Deplorables. I played a game in conference or in division game.
In division game, yes.
I like it. Okay, Division 3, which is, let's see,
North Haverbrook.
North Haverbrook. I already said those two.
Oh, Ogdenville. Was one of them Shelbyville? I've sold things in Shelby.
Okay, Shelbyville. Fine. The 4 Quarterlies alone with 1-0, followed by Braille Bombers and the Crew, Kevin Clemens. And then finally, the last division, we have a 2-way tie for first. We've got the Wild Poopers and the Punishment Due. Oh, my heavens. 3 Devlins all in one division.
And who's the only Devlin that lost?
Daddy.
Daddy Devlin. Sorry, Daddy Devlin.
Wow, this almost guarantees that only one Devlin's going to make it to the finals.
We will see. We will see.
Okay.
It might be 2, though. It might be 2 because, remember, every winner gets in, but then I think it's like you get maybe 2 extra. So you could technically have another one depending on your score at the end of it. But let's not waste time on that.
You want to talk pickups at all?
Dang it, I forgot to print out the pickups like I normally did.
There's only a couple to speak of, really.
Yeah, but I don't have the bidding thing, and that's what I normally would print out.
Oh yeah, and that's what Don really wanted to know, if anybody else went after that guy in Arizona.
You know what? I tell you what. Let's. Well, we know she won the guy in Arizona, and we know that Todd bid a bunch on somebody else. I'll tell you about the pickups, and then tomorrow before the games, I will post it on the thing on what who got what, because everybody likes to know that one, and that's on me. I totally blew that one. But for the activity, who picked up what? Let's see.
So while you're looking, Dawn went out and got what she thought at the time, and what they said at the time was the backup for David Johnson. And I didn't even tell her. You just told me this that morning, and I thought, look at you. Of course, I'm nowhere to be found out there. She bid 20, but you almost have to if your number 1 back goes down and he's got a handcuff. But now, from everything that we read since then, Arizona doesn't know what the hell they're going to do in the running back position. They signed... Chris Johnson, and then they had the kid who played after he went down, who did okay, but they don't know what the hell's going to happen. So she did the best she could. I don't know if it's going to be that guy or Chris Johnson, but we shall see. Who else did you see got picked up?
Yeah, so she picked up Kerwin Williams for 25. Todd went out there and grabbed Nelson Aguilar for 21, which sounds like a lot, but he just had 1 really long touchdown. Now, he may get more touches, but that, to me, seems like kind of a reach, but that's okay. And then Champ Crusher's Crew, Clemens picked up Alan Hearns for $11. That was really it. Everybody else was under $10, so nothing to talk. But those were the 2 big ones were Don's and Todd's. And I will look back and see who did those, but rest assured, that'll be on there. So let's go to scores for next week, or matchups.
Okay,
let's just talk about a couple since I took so much time yapping about the start of it, but go ahead.
Okay, we've got, first up, we've got a matchup, Chalupa Batman against Camp Krusty. I don't know who's going to win, but I'm already out with 24.7-0 after the Thursday game.
Nice,
so
yeah.
2 players have played, so it's not great, but we'll see.
Yeah, Lamar Miller with a pedestrian 11, and you're Houston with 13, which for defense can be a good thing.
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
It wasn't like a day that you rocked the world. So they still have him winning projected, but those projections don't mean anything. It's all just on paper. But it should be a good matchup, so you've already got 2 down. Who's next up?
Next up, we've got Voldemort playing Making Fantasy Football Great Again.
Yes.
Neither of you guys have anybody playing so far.
Nope.
So we'll find out tomorrow.
Yep, we'll find out tomorrow. That should be an interesting matchup. Again, the scoreboard has me wiping the floor with him, but I don't trust those stupid things for anything. It's got me like 20 or 30. I'm like, that ain't going to happen. Who's next?
Right. All right. So we've got the Malibu Stacy. So the other Heath playing the Deplorables. So she's got Heaths back to back. Malibu Stacy's against the Deplorables. The Deplorables had one person go, obviously got 11.2. I don't know who it was.
Defense. Cincinnati got 11.2. So, again, not a huge score there, but it's not bad. She's got Minnesota against Pitt. Good luck, Dawn. I hope Pitt scores a ton. Not against you, just because I love Pitt. So
yes.
I can say that. That should be a good matchup again. It's got Malibu Stacy winning easily, but we'll see if Gillisley can pull another flipping hat trick of touchdowns this week like he did last week.
Okay, now check out the projected on this next game.
Okay.
We got the Champ Crushers crew coming off a loss, trying to get one from Gentlemen's Fort Quarterlies. They are both projected to get 139.
Yep, very close right here in the projections. AJ Green got Terry 11. Again, with AJ Green, you're looking for 15 to 20 every week.
Yeah.
So she's starting in a hole. But again, you never know who's going to score this week. So we'll see if that turns out to be something that's going to hurt her or help her. And I mean, again, 11's good, but boy, you want a lot more from your number 1 wide receiver, especially a top 5 wide receiver like that.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Okay, next up, we've got the Braille Bombers trying to put one in the win column against the Punishment Dew, who's been hot. He won last week against Dada. Let's see what he can do against Mama.
Yeah, so she started Tyler Eifert from where?
Notre Dame.
Exactly. 7.2. Again, you want a little bit more from that big guy. But like
just
I said,
tight end.
Cincinnati's kind of struggling, so 7's not bad. Although she was already crying about this today because Witten last week had a huge day. And I was like, but you can't expect that. It's not always going to happen.
Yeah.
You're not always gonna, and Witten isn't going to be the guy you're going to count on for 15 to 20 points every week. So
right.
We'll see. It should be a good matchup. It's Tampa Bay coming back. They're going to be playing emotionally after that whole hurricane thing.
Shows it close. 145, 144 is the projection.
So for Tampa Bay and the like of those that were on hold after those storms, they're either going to be on an emotional high that's going to help them, or it may they're a week behind everybody. So
I know. I felt bad. Houston. Yeah. What's his face?
Oh, God,
was it J.J. Watt came out?
He's like $30 million. It's awesome.
Yeah,
he comes out with the flag, and then
I was really hoping they would win.
By the Jaguars.
I
I'm like, by the Jaguars?
Yeah. Well, it's like the battle of the bad storms, right? You got Jacksonville, you got Houston.
Yep, totally.
So I guess they both deserve to win, but they both can't. Okay, and then finally,
the last one. Yeah,
finally, we're wrapping it up with the Wild Poopers. So Jason's got his kids back to back. We got the Wild Poopers going against give me that booty. He's already out with 14.3. Yep,
looks like another good one here. So we'll see if this happens again for Jason. He gets spanked by another one of his kids, or if he can actually pull this out. He started off pretty good. DeAndre Hopkins got him 14 on that Thursday night game, so that's not bad for one of his top wide receivers. The rest of it is going to be up to fate, but it's got him locked in with 130, 138. Should be a close event, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot of smack talk since it's, daddy and daughter, and there's going to be a lot of,
Well, it's interesting how life starts out with the parents spanking the kids, and now it's been switched.
Absolutely.
Let's see what he can do. Do. She's coming off of a monster score, but I can't help but think that what was it, Hunt or whatever his name was?
Yeah, Kareem Hunt. He's not going to put up 50 every week.
50 every week. We'll see.
Does Kansas City, you're right, that's a big question for the going into this week, is does Kansas City come back down to earth? We don't know. We're going to find out.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I can't wait for the games tomorrow. It's so great to have football back. It's like a warm blanket just covering me up with happiness. I'm just so happy it's back.
And I'm sorry, next week I'll be on time, and we'll get this out so people can see it before the games. But I do hope people log in the morning and at least get 20.
Fans will be on it tomorrow morning. They'll
be good.
Right on, it's back.
Yep.
So also a couple things coming up we'll be talking about. I know that we're going to do our event out at Players, which is kind of the now de facto place. We're going to talk about that sometime.
Okay.
We'll talk about the Turkey Bowl for those that are going to be in town for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And we might do another thing at somebody's house throughout the year. So anyway, just start thinking about those and dates if anybody wants to host or if anybody has any ideas. But we're excited. Keep watching. We'll have our special Halloween special with some good characters you haven't seen this year. And it's going to be awesome. So we're looking forward to another great year in fantasy football. Hopefully a three-peat for this guy. But I know everybody else would love nothing better than to knock me off the perch.
But don't worry.
So come get some,
we got
everybody.
plans. We got plans.
All right, so for Matt Dickey, this is Kevin. So for Kevin Heath, this is Matt Dickey. I can sign off. Kev, take us home.
Stay classy, Bone Storm.